Look at this. We've just found the lions, everyone, the ones that we said we were looking for. And it is a big male that I can see here, and just off to the right is a female lying in the grass. Now, I'm not sure if they are the only lions here. There might be more. I've had a quick look around, but as you can see, the grass is very, very long at the moment, and they are well hidden. Now, fortunately for us, these lions did make a kill last night. They managed to kill a zebra, but it looks like they've been feeding for most of the morning, and now with it being so very hot, they're resting in the shade and trying to basically conserve their energy, and later they'll most likely go and feed. They did look like there was still some of the zebra left, and they'll go and feed a little bit later. What I'll try to do is, just now, I'll move around and try to show you some of that carcass that is left of the zebra. But these lions, you can see they're panting heavily. Look at that male especially. See how he's breathing quite heavily, he's panting. Now the reason for that is he is hot and he's got a full belly, so they breathe very heavily. You can actually see how swollen that belly is. He's managed to feed on a lot of zebra meat. Oh, Lana, now the hottest temperature on record in this area, I would imagine it's about 50 degrees Celsius, somewhere around there, 52 degrees Celsius. Now that's probably about 115 or 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So somewhere around there for this part of South Africa, which is very, very hot. This afternoon's not too bad. I think it's probably about 28 degrees Celsius. So it's 26 degrees Celsius, and that's 78 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not too hot. It does get much warmer, but you need to remember, everyone, we are moving into our winter now. So this is autumn for us. So the temperatures are starting to cool down, and which is great. So we're going to start experiencing much cooler temperatures. Now I'm going to try and reposition the vehicle, see if there aren't any other lions lying around. Let's go back to Jamie and her beautiful elephant. So you can see the male lion still panting in the shade, and I'm sure some of you are curious to see what he has been eating. As I said, there is a zebra carcass over here. And there it is. Looks like a young zebra, everyone, that these lions managed to kill last night. And doesn't look like they fed on too much of it. There looks like there's still quite a lot of meat there for them. Now, Justice, lions will hunt actually any time of the day. There's not a specific time of day, look at that beautiful male, that they prefer hunting. However, lions are ambush predators. So that means they need to stalk and they need to sneak up on their prey. So what happens is, while they prefer hunting at night then, because it's easier for them to stalk, get really close, ambush their prey, and bring them down. So generally speaking, they prefer hunting at night, but it all depends. It can change, it can vary. If they happen to see something walking past them during the day or close, they'll definitely try and go for it. They're very opportunistic. So if they get a chance, they'll try to hunt. But this was killed last night, definitely, because we actually managed to see these lions yesterday, not too far from here, probably about a mile or two in that direction, so northeast. We did see them yesterday evening, and then they obviously moved around and hunted during the course of the night. So then this morning, we managed to find them here with this zebra kill. So that's good for them. This will keep them going for 2 or 3 days. There's a lot of meat there. Caleb, it's difficult to say how many lions would live together at one time. Prides can vary from 3 up to 15 or 20 lions. Some prides even bigger than that. It does depend on the area that they are in, how much food is available, how much competition there is from other prides of lions. So it changes a lot and it does vary. I've seen, the largest pride I've seen, I think, is about 18 lions or so that I've seen together. But I know in other parts of Africa you can get lions over 20 of them together. Now in this situation, what we have here is there's a pride of lions. There's about 7 of them in the pride, 7 or 8 in the pride, and then that's one pride that we see. And then there are 4 dominant males, big male lions, and this is one of the brothers, and they move around constantly patrolling their territory. And now what they do is they do that to keep out other lions, to chase them away, to keep them away from their territory. So these lions, what they do is they actually split up from time to time. So you might have a single male like we've got here with a lioness, or you might find the 2 brothers together or 3 brothers. Sometimes we get to see all 4 of them, which is amazing, but they'll move around from one pride to another. I'm going to reposition again, I think. We'll just see what these lions do if they move. Let's head back to Djuma and that big elephant she's got. It's amazing, James, that you got to see that a spider making a kill. That's the wonderful thing about being out here. We have a look at everything from the little insects and arachnids like spiders to big predators like these lions. You can see it's still breathing very, very quickly. Very heavily because he is quite full. It's amazing. These lions gorge themselves on meat and they'll feed on as much of it as they possibly can. They'll rest for a few hours and then they'll get up and start moving and finish the carcass. Sometimes with big carcasses they can stay in an area for 2 days if it's a big animal like a buffalo. Ahmad, you asked how many lions would it take to kill 5 zebras? Well, it's hard to say, Ahmad. So it's unlucky. It's unlikely, rather. It's unlikely for lions to kill that many zebra. Usually they'll kill what they need to eat, and then the rest probably run away. But I'd say it would most likely take. It depends how big the zebra are. So maybe 10 lions to kill 5 zebra, 2 lions per zebra. But no, I've never seen that happen. I don't think that would happen. So Kale, these male lions have got these big manes to protect themselves. The males fight a lot amongst themselves, whether it be for food or for females. They do fight constantly. So those big manes, those thick manes, help protect their necks and their heads. So if they do fight and bite one another, hopefully that hair provides a layer of protection around the head. So they're going to be resting here for most of the day. I don't think they're going to move anytime soon. Wesley, it's hard to say how many animals we usually see. I'm just going to move forward slightly. Maybe we can get a view of this female. Give me a second. Wesley, now, I mean, it is different every day. Every female from there. So I just want to make sure this vehicle's got space to get past us. We'll see animals like elephant, as you've seen, lions, we can see zebra, wildebeest, we can see buffalo. Every day is different. We don't know exactly what we are going to see or not see. So it's hard to answer that, Wesley. So the male's just lifted his head too. Hang on a second, let me reverse, you'll get a nice view of this male. But as I said, I don't think they're going to move anytime soon. They look very comfortable. It is still quite hot. So I think what we might do is we might leave these lions and go see what else we can find and probably come back a little bit later. That's a nice view of that male, though. You can see how big it is. Very, very large. Wasn't that exciting? I'm so glad we got to see these lions and show you and see what they killed last night. It's amazing what kind of story we can tell just from obviously finding the evidence the next day. And these lions have done very well for themselves. They've got a kill. They've got a lot of shade. They're going to stay lying down for a while. And it was great to be able to see them. We're going to leave them. I might try come back a little bit later. Maybe they move around. But let's see what else we can find. While I do that, let's head back to my friend James, who's still walking around.